So let's bring in our next guest. Love her work. Clutch Corner does an awesome job here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. We love having our Monday chats with Allana Tachauer. Allana Tachauer, who joins us live from Chi-Town. Allana, how are you?
You know what? I'm feeling spicy today, so we're going to have a good show.
Oh, that's going to be a great show. Now, yeah, first, because we obviously talk Miami Heat with you, but being in Chicago, like how much excitement is there for the Bulls this year? Like, where do you think the Bulls are going to finish? Because they obviously had a very busy offseason, as did the Miami Heat.
Yeah, you know what? I was just talking to my friend yesterday about this, and he is just so hyped. He's like, finally, the Bulls are giving Chicago something to look forward to. I will say Chicago Bulls fans are pretty good about like hanging in with the team regardless of what it's looking like. But it's going to be fun here. I'm definitely going to way more games, I think, this year than ever before.
Are Chicago Bulls fans, like the ones who are old enough, obviously, are they kind of like the really old Miami Dolphins fans who are like, and I wasn't born early enough, but for the ones who got to live through the perfect season, they're kind of just like, you know what, my life was fulfilled by that. I'm good. Whereas, so like the Chicago Bulls fans who are, in their 30s, 40s and up, who can remember Jordan and dominating an entire decade. Do you think that's why they're more patient? Because the ones who are like over the age of 30 are like, dude, we had one of the greatest runs in NBA history. So that satisfies you for a few decades, I think.
Yeah, I think part of it is just like it's become tradition, right? For so many people here. It's just like you go to games just to have fun. It doesn't necessarily matter how the team's doing. And also, I mean, people love to hate. And so when a team's not doing well, especially when, like, let's be honest, most of it was the front office's fault. There just becomes this like culture of everyone just hating on them together. It brings people together. At one point, there was a billboard right off of our biggest expressway that was literally like #FireGarPax. And like a bunch of people off Bulls Twitter came together, paid for it. It got taken down very, very swiftly because it's literally right on the way to the United Center. But like it just became a thing here to hate. But now people can actually get excited about the team and bond over, all the new acquisitions. I, for one, am excited. And especially like it came off, I think, of a good, obviously the COVID year and then kind of the asterisk year going into that way. So I think like the timing is also perfect.
By the way, I love how, first of all, the second that you came on and said you were feeling spicy today, you got the immediate uh-oh from Ricky J. Mark. And then Michael Christian is asking if you're talking to the feds or something because your hand is on your earpiece. Do you have like
my buds will not stay in for the life of me. It's only on this show. Like Michael can attest to this. When we're potting these new, I'm like, I'm good. But right now they're just not staying in. Also, Michael loves to like rev me up. Like he already knows I'm in a spicy mood. He's just going to do whatever it takes to get worse.
Oh my God. But by the way, this is something interesting that I found. And this is actually courtesy of our official sportsbook, betus.com. I don't really see how this information helps me as an NBA fan, but I'm glad that they published this list. So they put out a list of the most stressed fan bases in the NBA, and it's clearly based on your description. It's not Bulls fans, and they do not even crack the top 10 here. But the Miami Heat actually come in number 4 of the most stressed fan bases. And honestly, they don't give a whole lot of criteria as to exactly what that means. But I can take it to some point as a compliment because like fans, they've got to have some expectation of their team to be stressed about it. It's like you won't find very many stressed Marlins fans because there's like 8 people who care about the team. Whereas the Miami Heat, you get more stressed when you care about the team. They had a disappointing first round exit last year. They got swept. That stresses people out. So I will take that as a compliment. But being a Heat fan, do you find yourself especially stressed?
I don't, but I also just think like Heat fans have something to complain about all the time. Like whatever is going on is never good enough. So I can kind of understand that. But I also feel like Heat fans just love the team anyway. So that kind of did surprise me. I feel like kind of like, how I was talking about that Bulls fans go to the games regardless. I feel like Heat fans pretty much stick through the team for better or worse. So I don't know, to your point, what criteria they're using. And I also don't know, like, what does stress mean? Like unhappy with the team, stressed about the wins? Like I need more information on this, but like besides just having this ranking.
Well, I know what gets a lot of Heat fans stressed out is feeling like they get disrespected by the national media. Like I know it stresses out Ethan Skolnick because like every show he does.
It doesn't stress out Ethan Skolnick though.
Fair point. But he gets stressed not on national TV enough. They don't get a Christmas Day game, which does kind of stress me out. So, I mean, feeling like you're hated And okay, during the Big Three era, I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed being the bad guy because if the team is going to 4 straight finals and winning 2 titles, I'm okay with Skip Bayless saying nasty things about my team. It doesn't bother me, but I do think being hated on is a little bit more stressful when your team is not great. So maybe the perception is part of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are getting sick of us we're not even the underdogs anymore. We're kind of just the forgotten ones.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this last week. The excuses that they're using for why, we aren't getting a Christmas Day game or why we're not nationally televised more, that's bogus. Like, just be straight up, or at least just don't give an excuse. But to say like a first round exit, that just ain't it. I think honestly, we're probably going to see more national games, I think, as the season goes by, because they like to kind of tack those on. Because I think the Heat are going to do better than people assume. But that might be part of the stress.
So just for reference, I won't spend a whole lot more time on this list, but since I mentioned the Heat are number 4, I'll give you the top 10. Philadelphia 76ers come in at number 1.
I didn't see that, but I literally was about to say, let me guess, Sixers are first. So that
it sounds about right, because all I hear from people from Philly is just complaint after complaint after complaint. The Celtics are at number 2, and a lot of the Celtics fans I know are awful human beings. So it's like to be angry and mean all the time is very stressful, I guess. See, this one I don't really agree with. The Cleveland Cavaliers at number 3.
What is there to be stressed about? You guys are going to suck every year.
If anything, they should just be so thankful that LeBron James was born nearby your city, right? Because if he hadn't have been born in Akron, he probably would have never gone back to Cleveland and won a title there. So it's like, you should feel like, oh, I'm so lucky that one of the most talented players of all time happened to be born in an outskirt of my city, and he chose to play here after he left after being drafted. So the Cavs at number 3, the Heat 4. The Clippers number 5. I guess being the stepchild in your own city gets stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I think Philly and Boston makes a whole lot of sense there. Otherwise, I don't really agree with this list. But again, can we get a little bit more specific on what A, stress means, and B, what are you using to gauge this?
And also, it comes from a betting service, and I don't even see anything to bet on here. I don't really understand. I don't really understand the purpose. So it's Hawks 6, Pistons 7, 8 Suns, 9 Magic, and Mavericks at number 10.
What is there to be stressed as a Magic fan? Just be thankful that y'all even have a team.
Yeah, you got. I guess because the tickets to Disney are so expensive now, it's that's kind of stressful. Because
we got to see if Michael's stressed over here.
Michael
comes into our pods on Monday night pretty stressed out, so maybe there is something to that.
I'm telling you, because now I've got a child who's of age where we have to buy him a ticket. So Disney World has gotten really expensive now for a family of 3. So I could understand being stressed about that. So moving on, something I'm curious as to your take on, and I think we talked about this player, right after he wound up in Los Angeles, but how much do you think the Heat could miss Kendrick Nunn this coming season? Do you think people will talk about Kendrick the same way we talked about Jay Crowder last year, like the one who got away?
I don't think so. And I say this as someone who, I was in full support of Kendrick, not only because he's from Chicago, but I do think that he, in another situation, could have probably progressed a little bit further with this team. I think timing was off. I also, and this is speculation, I don't know anything, Spo just didn't seem to be his biggest fan. There were times when he was not getting any tick for seemingly no reason at all. Doesn't seem like he was injured. We weren't even playing well to the fact of okay, maybe you don't need him. I think he's going to do well in the Lakers. I actually really like that signing. I'm happy for him, but I don't think it's going to be one of those regret moments. Obviously, and like we said, this kind of depends on how Depot is, because if we're missing bodies, then that's going to play a role. But I'm happy for him. I don't think that we're going to have the same feeling that we did about Jay, which I still cry over on a weekly basis at this point.
Me too. So the Heat end up giving a standard deal to Gabe Vincent and to Max Strus as well. Now I know Ethan has said on 5 on the Floor, and I don't have any reason to disagree with it, that Gabe Vincent is being viewed as their backup point guard. Do you think he's ready for a rotation role?
I think that what he showed on Team Nigeria, if that keeps up, then I would say yes. I also think that, to his credit, he stayed really ready all season, even if he only got a few minutes of play. each night. It seems like he was fully bought into the system. He definitely seems like a culture guy. So I'm not surprised by that. And I think that, if he keeps up what he was looking like over the summer, that would be good. I think it's going to take some time. So I hope fans don't expect too much right off the bat, because I think overall this is going to be a problem of just developing chemistry. We do have kind of a gutted out roster, and even guys who are coming back, their roles are different. So people just need to be patient.
Yeah, no doubt about that. By the way, I see Mike Monaco from the Bronx trying to stir shit up here. He claims that I like ketchup on
I
steak.
saw that, but didn't want to call you out. Is this true?
No, it's couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, I have probably the loudest anti-ketchup agenda in the entire
like
world.
Ketchup on anything.
Nothing. I have argued, Allana. I have actually made the argument that society is moving beyond a need for ketchup. I think the only thing that ketchup serves, the only purpose it serves, is you can still mix it with other things to make sauces. Like ketchup can be a base.
You don't like
for
it
other
on fries?
Sauces. No, I'm not. I'm not
what do
7
you eat
anymore.
On your fries then?
A nice aioli is good.
Okay, I do. Okay,
yeah.
I can understand that.
Oh yeah,
I can't get rid of ketchup. I need ketchup for my fries.
No, I can do without it. Like again, you can the other day I made this burger sauce that involved mixing ketchup with other ingredients. It was really good. So ketchup, I'm okay with ketchup existing. I'm just not going to use plain ketchup.
You don't want it to be the main character though.
No, I don't.
A behind the scenes type of. Okay, I understand. I'm really peculiar with my ketchup. I only like the sugar-free one. I feel like
that's
sugar
better, actually.
Ketchup,
Yeah, that's
sugar
better.
and ketchup throws off the balance, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, because I've had the sugar-free one, or at least the less sugar one, and it's got more of a bite to it.
Organic, no sugar is the only thing that'll ever exist in my fridge. So it's a struggle when I go out, because I'm like, do I bring my own ketchup bottle? Because that's a little weird. I have left ketchup bottles at friends' houses before though, because I'm like, I don't have to worry about the degree of ketchup or the level of ketchup you can offer me. So just a little fun fact, just leave condiments at your friend's house. That's super helpful.
By the way, I love how people share their recipes. Like Ricky J. Mark says, ketchup, mustard, paprika, and lemon pepper. You're welcome. That sounds really good, Ricky. Plus mayo. Yeah, mayo to me, again, if some people don't like mayo by itself, fine. I like it on sandwiches by itself. But mayo is a boss when it comes to mixing with other things. A lot of times you'll eat a really great sauce. You don't even realize mayo is in everything.
That's true. Mayo is in everything. I didn't realize that either. People put down mayo, but they haven't experienced it the right way. That's my thought anyway.
Yeah, and Ninja Viking writes in, I am from Miami, where we mix ketchup and mayo. Yeah, we call that fancy sauce, I think is what they called that on Step Brothers. On the deleted scenes when they made the fancy sauce with the just ketchup and mayo mixed together. I don't know how we got this far away from basketball talk.
I'm great at tangents. Just ask Michael. Our whole show is a tangent at this point, especially in the off season.
I thrive on tangents. Allana Tachauer, thank you so much. For those who are watching, you see where to follow. Spicy mayo. That's a good one, Adam. That a great one. Has he changed his Twitter handle back to something that I recognize?
God, I hope so. I haven't checked in, but that's a good point.
So you guys know where to follow Allana at Allana Tachauer on Twitter. When's the next time we're going to see you on the network? You have any shows coming up?
Well, Michael and I are recording tonight, so a new pod will be up tomorrow. And I believe we are bringing Clutch Corner back, a non-football related Clutch Corner, I hope, this week. And there's other stuff brewing. So you'll see plenty of me this week and the following.
Thanks, Allana. Have a great day.
Thank you.